What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Shaman, and I've put together 4 different builds for you guys with some pre-raid best in slot gear that you guys can equip before stepping foot into Black Fathom Deeps, the new raid, for the first time. We're going to be talking about Enhancement DPS Shamans, Elemental DPS Shamans, Resto Shamans, and of course, the Shaman tank build. So without further ado, guys, let's dive in. Okay, so first up on our list here, we have the Enhancement Shaman DPS build. With our chest rune, we're going to go with dual wield specialization. Obviously, increase your chance to hit with both spells and melee attacks by 5% while dual wielding, and your Storm Strike ability now hits both weapons while dual wielding. So we're going to take dual wield specialization. Leg rune, we're going to be going with Shamanistic Rage. Reduce all damage you take by 20%, and you regenerate mana every second for 15 seconds. This is going to be how we never go anyone who's played Enhancement Shaman in TBC is going to really understand how this works. And for your hand rune, obviously Lava Lash is our best choice here. You charge your offhand weapon with lava, instantly dealing 100% offhand damage. Damage is increased by 20% if your offhand weapon is enchanted with Flame Tongue, which we know it will be. And then moving on to our talents, we put 5 points in Ancestral Knowledge to increase our maximum mana by 5%, 5 points in Thundering Strikes to get an extra 5% crit chance on all weapon attacks, 2 points in Improved Ghost Wolf, which we won't really be using in the raid, but we do need to get down to the next set of talents here, 1 point in Improved Lightning Shield, 2 points in Enhancing Totems. Increase the effect of your Strength of Earth and Grace of Air totems by 15%. And then our last point, we're going to put in Flurry so we can get those Flurry procs. Increase your attack speed by 10% for your next 3 swings after dealing a critical strike. Moving on to our gear for Enhancement Shaman, we have the Bright Eye Engineering Goggles, which are going to be probably your best in slot headpiece here that you can acquire from engineering. Our neck piece, we have the Scout's Medallion, which you're going to obtain by getting honored with Warsong Outriders. That's 6 agility, 2 stamina on that. The Bristlebark Amis shoulder pads, which are 6 agility, 3 strength. These are going to be your absolute highest DPS shoulders in this slot at this level. And then we have the Glowing Lizard Scale Cloak. The Glowing Lizard Scale Cloak is going to give you 6 agility, 2 spirit, 3 agility enchanted on it when you can get this from Scum in Wailing Caverns, so it's going to be super easy to be able to farm that. And then as for our chest piece, I have the Panther Armor here from the Stone Talon Mountains quest. You're going to get 9 agility and 2 strength from that, and you can enchant that with +2 to all stats. For bracers, we have Loam Flake Bracers. These are from the Thousand Needles quest. They give you 5 agility, and then you can enchant them with 5 strength to give you 5 strength, 5 agility on your bracers. If you can't get your hands on these, anything close to those stats will do. Just go for agility/strength at this level. And then for our weapons, we have the Mighty Iron Hammer, which is a blacksmith crafted hammer. This is a main hand 2.8 with 5 strength on it. You can enchant this with +3 weapon damage. And then a good offhand would be Stinging Viper, another 2.8. You want them the same speed so they synergize with Flurry really well. And this is going to be a chance on hit to poison the target for 7 nature damage every 3 seconds for 15 seconds. So these would be 2 really good weapons to go into the raid with. And then as for our gloves, we have Toughened Leather Gloves, a leatherworking item, 6 agility, 6 spirit, 3 stamina. You can enchant those with 5 strength. If you could find something close or similar to those stats, that would work as well. Again, this is not set in stone. This is just what I would do. If I was able to get my hands on these gloves, they would be the best for me. But again, take this all with a grain of salt, guys. If you can get gear with close to the same stats, it's level 25. You're going to do just fine. As for our belt, we have the Deathskin Belt in Ashenvale. This is from a quest there. This is going to give you 4 agility, 3 stamina, 12 attack power. And then Leggings of the Fang, which are going to drop off Lord Cobran in Wailing Caverns. These are huge. 5 strength, 4 stam, 9 agility. There's really no better legs to use at this level than these. You could argue that Trollbane's legs would maybe be better, but those are going to be expensive, and you don't get the strength, so I think these are pretty similar when it comes to raw DPS output. Trip Runner Dungarees are absolutely great, but I'm not sure how easy it's going to be for people to clear Gnomeregan at level 25. I'm sure some people are going to do it, but for most people, Leggings of the Fang are going to be the best in slot leg piece. As for our boots, we can grab Warsong Boots, which are from Warsong Supplies in Ashenvale. 8 agility, 6 stamina, massive boots there. There's going to be a good DPS coming off of those. And then we have rings. We have Silverlane's Family Seal, 7 strength, 3 stamina, which drops in Shadowfang Keep. And then the Legionnaire's Band, which will require you to get honored with Warsong Outriders. And we're going to be doing a lot of Warsong Gulch and open world PvP in Ashenvale, so this is going to be pretty easy to come by. As for trinkets, we have Rune of Perfection, which gives you 4 stamina, and Arena Grandmaster. These aren't going to increase your DPS at all, so don't worry about those if you can't get your hands on them. But let's move on to the Shaman tank. Okay, so for our tanking Shaman, our beloved tanking Shaman, for our chest rune, we're going to grab Shield Mastery. Each time you block, you regenerate mana equal to 4% of your maximum mana, and you gain armor equal to 30% of your shield's armor value, stacking up to 5 times. You also always gain 10% increased chance to block and 15% increased block value. So no brainer here. We're taking Shield Mastery, and our leg rune, Way of Earth, is our tanking rune. While Rockbiter weapon is active on your main hand, you deal 100% increased threat, gain 30% increased health, take 10% reduced damage, and gain 6% reduced chance to be critically hit by melee attacks, and Earth Shock taunts the target to attack you and has a separate cooldown from other shock spells, but has its range reduced to melee. So clearly, Way of Earth is our tanking rune here. And then hand rune, we're going to pick up Molten Blast. Blast enemies in a cone in front of you for 39 to 54 fire damage. This ability generates a high amount of threat. Flame Shock periodic damage has a 10% chance to reset the cooldown on Molten Blast. So this is going to be our cleave, and it generates a ton of threat. So we're going to be spamming this on cooldown, and Flame Shock has a chance to reset the cooldown of Molten Blast, so you're going to be using it quite often. As for our talents, we put 5 points in shield specialization to increase our chance to block attacks with a shield by 5% and increase the amount blocked by 25%. 5% in Thundering Strikes to get 5% extra crit, 5 points in Anticipation to get 5% extra dodge, and then obviously 1 point in Flurry. This is just going to be proccing and increasing our attack speed, helping us generate threat and do a little bit more damage. Let's move on to the gear. So for our gear, a little bit different than our DPS Enhancement Shaman gear. We have obviously the Bright Eye Goggles, still the best in slot. Scout's Medallion, still the best in slot. Mantle of Thieves. This is a BOE drop from Razorfen Crawl. Not sure how much this is going to be out in the world or available to purchase, but I would go with anything with stamina and agility on them, or just straight up stamina. So for the purposes of this build, we're going to select the Earthen Shoulders right here. Those are crafted by leatherworkers, so they should be pretty plentiful. And then the Spritekin Cloak, which is 4 agility, 3 stamina. This is from Stone Talon Mountains from a quest there. And then if you guys can get yourselves over to Deadmines, Black and Defias armor would be huge here. You're getting 11 stamina, 3 agility, 4 strength. Drops off Van Cleef. Not sure how much you're going to be over there doing Deadmines, but if you can get your hands on this, it would be awesome. If you can't, you can go do the Brawnhide Armor quest in Thousand Needles. I'm sure it'll be possible. Or grab the Bristlebark Blouse off the auction house. Moving on down to our bracers, we have the Black Wolf Bracers, which give you 5 stamina, and then we're going to enchant those with another 5 stamina. Any bracers with stamina on them like this would be great as well. You can get the Bear Bracers off vendors. You can get the Wolf Bracers, which give you 2 stamina, 4 agility. Just make sure you get that stamina enchant down there for that extra health. Moving on down to our weapon, we have the Windstorm Hammer, which is from a Thousand Needles quest. If you can't get your hands on this, the Mighty Iron Hammer, which is crafted by blacksmiths, will do the trick just fine. And then for our shield, we're going to pick up Clink Shield. You can get this from a Thousand Needle quest as well. And this is going to be probably one of the best shields you can rock at this time. It's going to be 545 armor, 10 block, 4 stamina, 2 agility, 3 strength. Really nice stats on this shield, so I would try and get your hands on that. If you can't, there's plenty of other shields that you can choose from. Just go for something with either stamina, strength, agility on it. And then onto our gloves, we have Toughened Leather Gloves. These are crafted by leather workers. 6 agility, 6 spirit, 3 stamina. These would be the absolute best in slot. If you can't get them, just grab anything with similar stats. And then we have our Deathskin Belt again. Leggings of the Fang, Warsong Boots. The rest is all similar to the DPS build. And then our trinkets here actually will affect our tanking, right? We're going to get stamina from the Rune of Perfection, and if you can get your hands on Arena Grandmaster and farm this out if you like a challenge, definitely pick that up. That extra dodge chance will seriously help, and the 4 stamina from Rune of Perfection will be great as well. So let's move on to our Elemental Shaman. Okay, moving on to our Elemental Shaman. For our chest rune, we're going to pick up Overload. Gives your Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, Chain Heal, Healing Wave, and Lava Burst spells a 33% chance to cast a second similar spell on the same target at no additional cost that causes half the damage or healing and no threat. So we're going to pick up Overload. Our leg rune here, we're going to pick up Shamanistic Rage again so that we're constantly regenerating mana every time we pop this ability. This is what's going to keep us from going And then on our hands, we're obviously going to pick up Lava Burst. You hurl a molten lava at the target, dealing 198 to 256 fire damage. If your Flame Shock is on the target, Lava Burst will deal a critical strike, which your Flame Shock should always be up on the target, so Lava Burst is always a guaranteed crit. Moving on to our talents, we put 5 points in Concussion, increase the damage done by our Lightning Bolt, Chain Lightning, and Shock spells by 5%, 2 points into Convection to reduce the mana cost of our Shock, Lightning Bolt, and Chain Lightning spells by 4%, 3 points into Call of Flame, increase the damage done by your fire totems by 15%. 5 points in Call of Thunder to increase the critical strike chance of our Lightning Bolt and Chain Lightning spells by an additional 6%, and then 1 point in Elemental Focus. Gives you a 10% chance to enter a clear casting state after casting any fire, frost, or nature damage spell. The clear casting state reduces the mana cost of your next damaging spell by 100%. So let's move on to our gear. For our gear here, we have the Bright Eye Engineering Goggles again, the Scout's Medallion for that 2 stamina, the Feline Mantle from Shadowfang Keep, 10 Intellect, 3 Spirit, 2 Agility. We have the Soft Willow Cape, 5 Intellect on there. The Robes of Aragul, 10 Spirit, 9 Intellect, 5 Stamina, 3 Agility. Our bracers, we have the Feather Bead Bracers. These bracers are from Ragefire Chasm, so they are pretty weak, but I kind of set this up so that you guys didn't have to use world drops. So if you find anything in the world or want to purchase anything in the world that has better stats than 3 intellect, you can go ahead and throw that on. But if you want to do this completely free without spending a single gold and you had no luck on drops, these would be the bracers for you. The Emberstone Staff is great if you want to farm that in Dead Mines. You're getting 5 Spirit, 5 Stam, 8 Intellect, but a close second and easier for Horde, obviously, would be the Crescent Staff from the Leaders of the Fang quest in Wailing Caverns. You're going to get 7 Intel, 7 Spirit, 7 Stamina, so I'd suggest going for that. And then as for our gloves, we have the Shredder Operating Gloves from the quest in Ashenvale. These are 6 Intel, 5 Stam, 2 Agility. Great gloves right there. The Belt of Aragul from Shadowfang Keep, 10 Intel, 3 Spirit, 2 Agility. Azure Silk Pants, 6 Intellect, and increases your frost damage by 10, which will increase your frost shock, which is basically what you're going to be using outside of keeping flame shock up. And then we have Spider Silk Boots, which are tailor-crafted boots, 7 Spirit, 4 Intel, 4 Stamina, and then Advisor's Ring, which you could pick up from Honored with Warsong Outriders. Going to give you 2 Stamina, 5 Spell Damage, and 2 MP5. The Lavishly Jeweled Ring from Dead Mines is great, 2 Agility, 6 Intellect, but you can also pick up, obviously, the Deep Fathom Ring, since you're Horde, 6 Spirit, 3 Stam, 3 Intel, and it'll be much easier to grab. And then, obviously, for trinkets, nothing here is going to increase your elemental DPS. So let's move on to the rest of Shaman. So for our chest room, we're going to pick up Healing Rain. Selects the area 15 yards around the target player and heals all of target player's party members within that area for 20 seconds. Obviously, we're going to pick that up. On our legs, we're going to grab Earth Shield. This is going to put a shield on the target, protects the target with an earthen shield, reducing casting or channeling time lost when damaged by 30% and causing attacks to heal the shielded target by 100. This effect can only occur once every few seconds, and it has 3 charges. We can go with Earth Shield here if we're on tank healing. If we're running low on mana and we're raid healing and we're going we could pick up Shamanistic Rage to kind of have some form of a mana regen cooldown. That's completely up to you, but we'll select Earth Shield for the purposes of this build. And then on our hands, we're going to grab Water Shield. The caster is surrounded by 3 globes of water, granting 1% of your maximum mana per 5. When a spell, melee, or ranged attack hits the caster, 4% of the mana restored to the caster. This expends a water globe, and obviously there's 3, so this will be good for regenning mana, so that should help you out as well. But like I said, if you're having more mana issues, you want to go with Shamanistic Rage in your leg slot. As for your talents, we put 5 points in Improved Healing Wave, reduce the cast time of your Healing Wave by 0.5 seconds, 3 points in Tidal Focus to reduce the mana cost of your healing spells by 3%, 3 points in Ancestral Healing, increase the target's armor value by 25%, for 15 seconds after getting a critical effect from one of your healing spells. 1 point in Totemic Mastery, which increases the radius of your totems that affect friendly targets by 30 yards. 3 points in Healing Grace to reduce our threat generated by healing spells by 15%. And then 1 point in Tidal Mastery, increase the critical strike chance of your healing and lightning spells by 1%. So let's take a look at our gear. As for our gear, very similar to our elemental gear with a few minor tweaks. We have the same headpiece, the same neck piece, the same shoulders, but as for our cape, we're going to be using the Battle Healer's Cloak, as you get this from Honored with Warsong Outriders. Gives you 4 stamina, 2 spirit, increases your healing done by spells and effects by up to 9, so that's going to be your best in slot cape there. The Robes of Aragul are simply beautiful here. You're going to get a ton of spirit, ton of intel, good amount of stamina from these. The Feather Bead Bracers, again, which are from Ragefire Chasm, but you can find something with similar stats cheap on the auction house. The Advisor's Gnarled Staff, which you can get from being revered with Warsong Gulch rep. This is going to give you 9 stam, 5 intel, and 3 MP5, so I'd suggest going for that over the Wailing Caverns staff for healing, but both would do the trick at this level. True Faith Gloves, which are crafted by tailors, and these give you 3 intel and 15 plus to your healing. Belt of Aragul, 10 Intel, 3 Spirit, 2 Agility. Azor Silk Pants again for that 6 Intellect, but honestly, I would sub these out for something of the Owl to get some Spirit there. And then Spider Silk Boots from Tailors, 7 Spirit, 4 Intellect, 4 Stamina. And then the Advisor's Ring, again, which comes from Warsong. Outriders Honored, it's going to give you 5 spell damage and healing, 2 Stamina, and 2 MP5. We can also pick up the Totemic Clan Ring from the quest in the Barrens, which is going to give you 3 Intellect, 3 Spirit. But if you can't get your hands on that, obviously Deep Fathom Ring would be better. So I'd say going for that if possible. And then Rune of Perfection for 4 Stamina, Arena Grandmaster for that extra dodge chance. But don't worry about the trinkets. These won't affect your healing by much. But anyways, guys, that's all from me. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It really does help me out a lot. Drop some comments down below. If you have nothing to say at all, drop an emoji. It helps me out with the algorithm. And consider subscribing to the channel and turning on post notifications so you don't miss the next time I post a video. I'm going to be posting a ton of content throughout the entire season of Discovery, and then whatever the next season is, we're going to be covering that too. So if you guys want to hang out with me live, I do stream on Twitch Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'll drop a link to that in the description below this video at twitch.tv/hammerdance. And also, if you want to access this build and any of the other builds that I've done, I'm putting them in the community Discord in their class respective channels. So just go to the community Discord, hop into the Shaman channel, and you can find this build there and tweak it to your liking. But anyways, guys, that's all I've got for you today. So thank you all so much for watching and listening in. I'll see you all in the next one.